to improving human capital development. And this is reflected in their national strategies and plans, and the establishment of the National School Meals Program that's called PRONAIM. And also, it's also a member of the School Meals Coalition. So we can see the government of Mozambique's commitment to school meals programs. And so there is a program that we have been implementing together with partners. The program is called Educating Children Together, in short, ECT. And this is funded by the United States Department of Agriculture through their McGovern-Dole Food for Education program. I think the previous session, we were just getting some updates and about that program. And this program was established to support the effective implementation of the school meals program in Mozambique and related government education, food security, nutrition strategies in Nampula province. And Nampula province is one of the Mozambique's neediest and poorest provinces. And so under the leadership of Mozambique Ministry of Education, the program brings together national and international NGOs, the private sector, and communities to deliver an integrated school meals program to improve education, health, and nutrition outcomes for the school-age children. And so the program provides key lessons for the school meals, the National School Meals Program, PRONAIM, to support the national feeding program and policy directions. And so today we feel very privileged to be able to share this with you. And as a way of outcome, we are hoping to share with you some of the key lessons and the good practices and examples of how multi-stakeholder programs can come together on school meals and then contribute towards improved human development outcomes. And also, we hope to share with you some of the highlights of effective and inclusive delivery on national government goals. And thirdly, to share with you some of the benefits and challenges in strengthening national school meals systems, and also the contribution of community members, and particularly women, in achieving the goals of educating children together in this region. And so today we have a panel of experts who will be talking to us. And the first person is a lady from the Ministry of Health in Mozambique, whom I'll be introducing later. The second speaker will be the chief of party of the program. And also the third speaker will be a program lead for one of the national NGOs that we are working together very closely. And then also we do have a video that will also highlight the importance of the partnerships. And also you'll have a chance to hear the voices of children on how school meals have impacted and affected their lives. And so to start with, we want to start with the video that, as I've said, will be highlighting some of these works. Thank you so much. We can share the video.
Just 1 second here, I'm bringing it up. If Daniel, if you can just, oh, I see Dr. Linda has joined.
Welcome, Doctor. Maybe we still go ahead with the video, I think.
Okay, sure.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Can you see the video?
Sim, pode ser. Obrigada.
Hola. Can you see the video, Daniel?
Yes, I can see the video.
Okay, thank you.
We just restart it. Start from the beginning. I think what you're missing is sound.
Oh. Sorry about that. I thought it would, just a second here. Sorry, I thought it would do that again. Okay, there we go. I thought it would continue from last time.
A levar as suas crianças à escola. A consciência do pai, a importância da escola, porque já está a ver o proveito. Se nós formos a ver a questão de permanência do aluno na escola, houve um crescimento de cerca de 85%.
Quando saímos do trabalho, a gente vai no lanchonete, comemos fuba. Alunos que têm fuba, quando entram na sala, prestam muita atenção, estudam, a saberem que depois daqui vamos ser levados para o lanchonete, para comermos, termos mais força para aprender mais. E aqueles outros também vão à escola, estudam também, e há outros que prestam muita atenção na sala, e há outros que fogem. Quando chegam 10 horas, sentem fome, vão para casa.
Quando veio essa lanche, eu principalmente vou falar sobre mim. Eu senti muito orgulhoso e mudei muito do comportamento, porque eu ficava associado mesmo. Quando chegava aqui, eu ficava associado e as matérias das escolas me entravam altamente.
É importante essa comida, é muito importante sim, porque facilita também os alunos, saem de casa com fome, precisa da primeira e segunda. Quando ela entra na sala, costuma estudar, tem vontade que, se eu acabar das aulas, vou comer meu lanche e ir para casa.
Ela tem uma componente comunitária, mas ligado à educação. O que é que a visão mundial faz nesta componente? Ela forma aos promotores de campo de leitura e facilita a criação desses campos de leitura, onde as crianças, depois de estudarem na escola, à tarde, naquele tempo livre, elas vão ao campo de leitura para consolidar a matéria dada na escola. A visão mundial, ela está lá para capacitar esses pais a fazer o acompanhamento das crianças. Para elas não deixarem a responsabilidade dos professores. Elas, a cada dia, devem acompanhar, devem ver, devem explicar aos seus filhos aquela matéria que o aluno lá na escola não compreende, então encontrar o pai.
A minha sobrinha chama-se Antsécia, ela gosta muito desse lanche e ela também, pouco a pouco, quando chega em casa, eu ensino também. Ela já sabe ler abecedário, algumas partes também ela consegue ler. Quando chegar em casa, eu também tenho meus cadernos ali mesmo, mete exercício, ele consegue fazer. Está tentando. Estamos a arranjar maneiras para que as crianças não abandonem a escola.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that video. As you can see, the role of the parents, the volunteers, the children, the teachers, and all working together, and some of the other sectors that are coming together, using the school as a platform to be able to bring a comprehensive package to the child. Thank you so much for that. And moving on, I would like to introduce Dr. Alinda Chakwis. I hope I am pronouncing that well. And I will just introduce her. She is a medical doctor with a master's degree in tropical medicine and international health. Dr. Chakwis is currently the National Director of School Nutrition and Health in the Ministry of Education and Human Development, which includes the combination of the implementation of the National School Feeding Program in Mozambique. She is responsible for the response to COVID-19 in the education sector and is a member of the multi-sector response on COVID-19. Previously, she worked at Nampula Central Hospital and was also the director of the Institute of Health Sciences in Nampula, and as well as the head of the training department in the province, in the provincial directorate of Nampula for over 10 years. And so Dr. Chakwes will be speaking to us on how the Educating Child Together program has helped the government of Mozambique achieve the national objectives. Thank you so much, and over to you, Dr. Chakwes.
Bom, muito obrigada pela oportunidade que nos é dada para podermos falar do nosso programa de alimentação escolar, mas mais especificamente implementado pelo nosso grande parceiro, que é a Visão Mundial. E também antes peço desculpas por este transtorno de acesso. A rede de repente ficou meio instável, se calhar por causa de muito vento que está a fazer aqui na cidade de Maputo. E também uma pequena correção, meu nome é Arlinda e não Arlinda. Então, indo direto à apresentação, gostaríamos primeiro de dizer que Moçambique está a implementar um Programa Nacional de Alimentação Escolar, que foi aprovado pelo governo em 2013, e de lá para cá este programa é implementado não apenas pelo governo, mas também pelos parceiros, e neste caso particular temos a grande participação da Visão Mundial através do programa Juntos Educando Crianças. Este programa, ao ser desenhado, ele ia ao encontro daquilo que é o nosso plano estratégico de educação, que vai até 2029, e que tem um dos seus grandes objetivos, que é a retenção, inclusão e a equidade, inclusão e participação e retenção, em particular da rapariga, no contexto da melhoria da aprendizagem. Está a trabalhar na província de Nampula, em 2 distritos, é a província mais populosa do país, e trabalha em 160 escolas primárias. Estamos agora na 3ª fase de implementação deste projeto. Em termos de contribuições, podemos passar. Nós podemos aqui afirmar que, com a implementação deste projeto na província de Nampula, nós podemos ver resultados em termos de aumento da retenção e redução dos índices de desistências e absentismo dos alunos e professores. Já estou no slide seguinte. E também nós constatamos aqui a redução da desistência dos alunos, em particular da rapariga, que é um dos nossos grandes focos, assumindo que a rapariga ainda enfrenta o problema das uniões prematuras, gravidez na adolescência e outros. Mantê-la na escola é uma maneira de garantir o seu próprio desenvolvimento integral e crescimento também. E também nós fomos vendo que nestas escolas que implementam este lanche, nós temos um aumento substancial do número de matrículas, em particular nas classes iniciais, que são a 1ª, a 2ª e a 3ª classe. E também nós constatamos aqui uma melhoria do rendimento pedagógico, tendo em conta que este programa, para além da questão do lanche escolar, também envolve assuntos ligados à literacia e outras atividades que concorrem para o processo de ensino e aprendizagem.
Just a minute, Dr.
Sim.
Just a moment. I understand that the interpreter is not with us, so no interpretation is taking place. I'm wondering if there is any backup somewhere, what we could do.
Manuel can help.
Who?
Manuel Janorio.
Can I proceed?
Just a minute, please.
Yeah.
Manuel Janorio can help.
I think the challenge is how he could do that.
Yeah, he has to have a special link to get in the
Yeah, he has to have a
translator.
special link.
What's happened to the translator? Is the connection off? Sorry,
Yeah,
everybody. Sorry.
Apologies. understand they left.
Sorry,
they left
the
meeting.
interpreter seems to no longer be with us in the session. We had him and it was tested, and I don't know if there's a connection issue on his end. He's no longer in the session.
Okay.
Apologies, everyone.
Yeah.
Is Manuel is he here? I can't see if he's in the participants.
January he is.
Is there a way to bring him to be a speaker? Because then he can translate. Susan, do you know?
We're trying to get some signals from our interpreters. We think that one or two of them actually know Portuguese as well. Probably not quite as, or maybe just as well as the other languages they're already interpreting. So can we put guidance in the chat on which channels people should follow?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we're gonna guide people on which buttons to click on based on which. One moment, please. This is called full improvisation.
Very sorry, Dr. Linda.
And thank you, and now we have your Portuguese interpreter back. I'm going to move the original. I assume this is a connectivity issue. We're moving the interpreter back into the session. Paulino is back. So we'll just confirm that it's back to the original plan.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I don't know,
so
Daniel, if you want to go back
you
a little bit in the presentation. Back over to you.
Thank you. Maybe we see how we can make it in the next 10 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, so Dr. Linda, you can start. Hopefully the translator is translating for you.
Vou tentar ser o mais breve possível para não comprometer as outras apresentações. Bom, eu inicialmente dizia que nós temos como alimentação escolar, e este programa é implementado não apenas pelo governo, mas também com o apoio e a participação de parceiros. Neste caso específico, temos a Visão Mundial, que está e que este programa, na verdade, vem responder àquilo que são um dos principais objetivos estratégicos do nosso plano estratégico do Ministério, que é a questão da inclusão, a retenção e a participação, em particular da rapariga na nossa escola, e com uma finalidade de garantirmos uma melhoria no processo de aprendizagem. E este projeto está a ser implementado na província de Nampula, em particular em 2 distritos da província de Nampula, que é a mais populosa do país, em 160 escolas primárias. Agora nós estamos a implementar a terceira fase deste projeto, que teve uma primeira em 2013, a segunda em 2016, e esta terceira que iniciou em 2024. E dizia também que este projeto tem dado contribuições muito significativas ao próprio setor de educação, porque nas escolas onde ele está a ser implementado, nós verificamos uma redução do absentismo dos alunos e professores, mesmo a componente da desistência, com particular destaque aqui para a rapariga, assumindo que a rapariga ainda enfrenta alguns desafios no que diz respeito à gravidez na adolescência e também nas uniões prematuras, e que isso faz com que muito cedo elas desistem da escola. E também temos registrado um aumento significativo de matrículas no início de cada ano letivo. E por assumir que também este projeto não só olha para a questão do lanche, mas também tem outras componentes a questão da leitura, escrita e oralidade nestas classes iniciais. E também aqui é um outro aspecto importante que o próprio programa da alimentação escolar nutricional e também a componente da produção escolar. Então, esses aspectos acabam também ajudando a minimizar os problemas da fome que podem surgir naquela região. A questão do saneamento do meio e a disponibilidade de água nas nossas escolas, que ainda constitui um desafio em grande parte das nossas escolas, nós vemos esse problema resolvido com a implementação deste projeto nas escolas dos distritos de Nakaroa e Moecate, e bem como a construção de salas de aulas que acaba fazendo com que reduz o número de alunos que assistem às aulas ao ar livre e também melhora o rácio entre o aluno e o professor, garantindo, neste caso, uma melhoria substancial no processo de aprendizagem. Nós podemos aqui verificar que em termos de formas de parceria desta organização e cooperar com o governo, nós temos aqui um terceiro elemento que é a componente da comunidade e desta maneira nós podemos dizer que em termos de parcerias que a Visão Mundial tem, professores, temos também a parceria a nível dos serviços distritais de saúde, para a questão da questão de saúde e nutrição das próprias crianças. As atividades econômicas, queria eu dizer, aqui temos a questão da associação dos camponeses, porque temos aqui um processo de geração de renda também que ajuda as próprias comunidades a poderem desenvolver. E também temos com os serviços provinciais de planificação e infraestruturas, que entra muito nesta componente das construções das nossas escolas, usando os padrões aceitáveis, e também a questão da abertura de furos de água para garantir o acesso à água nestas escolas. Existe aqui um elo de ligação que é muito importante e muito forte, que é a própria comunidade, e nós, felizmente, muito diretamente com a própria comunidade, através dos conselhos de escola, que estes conselhos de escola fazem o elo de ligação com a comunidade, e isso permite que os assuntos que são discutidos na escola também sejam do conhecimento da própria comunidade, e isso dá uma aceitação maior para a implementação dos projetos que acontecem dentro das nossas escolas. E também os próprios líderes comunitários têm a oportunidade de participar nestes campos de leitura, e aí eles melhoram o seu nível de aprendizagem e de maneira indireta acaba reduzindo aqui a questão da problemática do analfabetismo. Em termos de... se nós podemos distinguir que concorrem neste processo de implementação deste projeto naqueles 2 distritos, que é um envolvimento, os aspectos positivos a vários níveis. Aqui podemos realçar desde o nível central do próprio Ministério até ao nível de província, distrito e a própria comunidade, no processo da implementação deste grande projeto. Mas, contudo, nós temos aqui o grande desafio, que é podermos ver um não retrocesso de todos os ganhos que foram adquiridos desde a primeira fase em 2013, porque muitas das vezes o que pode acontecer é nós sentirmos que aquelas comunidades que estavam habituadas a ter um parceiro para melhorar aquilo que é o seu desenvolvimento local, elas terem uma descontinuidade, e isto que criar grande retrocesso em todo o ganho que em todo o ganho que foi acontecendo. E, de certa maneira, também temos situações de crianças que, por via disso, comecem já a desistir de frequentarem a própria escola. Durante a pandemia da Covid, nós tivemos, o país e o mundo teve que se reajustar e nós também não tivemos que fazer. Nós conseguimos superar muito bem esta fase da própria Covid, porque tivemos que garantir a segurança dos alunos encerrando as escolas a continuar com o processo de ensino-aprendizagem. Nós fomos produzindo fichas através de meios televisivos, rádio e os outros, e aqui também a própria Visão Mundial ajudou muito na materialização desta fase de falta de encerramento das próprias escolas movidas pela própria Covid. E depois, uma vez que retomamos com as aulas, tivemos que redimensionar as turmas, olhando para aquilo que são as medidas de prevenção da própria Covid. E na fase em que nós encerramos com as aulas, era necessário continuar a estimular os alunos mesmo estando em casa, e aí o que a Visão Mundial fez foi para as famílias, que era para garantir que eles não tivessem problemas de alimentos e continuassem a se alimentar estando em casa, e aí continuavam a estudar. Em termos de lições importantes que nós podemos tirar nesta questão de trabalhar com parceiros, é a questão da comunicação, e tem que ser uma comunicação efetiva, desde a planificação conjunta, a realização das atividades de forma conjunta e a partilha de todos os relatórios, bem como aquilo que são os balanços e os aspectos positivos e negativos do próprio projeto. E aqui podemos realçar que o setor tem trabalhado muito com a Visão Mundial na materialização desta parceria. Em termos de programa, ele, a nível da província, ele é satisfatório, porque nós estamos a conseguir ver aquilo que são os objetivos do nosso plano estratégico a serem materializados, estamos a ver uma redução das desistências, um aumento substancial da retenção dos próprios alunos e também do próprio rendimento pedagógico, olhando para estas intervenções todas que acontecem na própria escola e os resultados que a gente vê no final de cada ano letivo. E por aqui eu termino a minha curta apresentação, na esperança de ter conseguido trazer um bocado daquilo que é a implementação do projeto Junto Educando Crianças na província de Nampula, implementado pela Visão Mundial. Muito obrigada pela atenção.
Muito obrigado. Thank you so much, Doctor, and thank you for bearing with all the challenges that we have. We really appreciate your time and being here with us. And so some of the key issues highlighted about the benefits of the program in terms of ending early marriage and early pregnancy, getting water to schools, children focusing on the education, and so on and so forth. And I think the challenge that Doctor has posed to us is, how do we sustain these benefits, and how do you ensure that there is no relapse into some of these issues? And so, in the interest of time, allow us to move on to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Emmanuel Okuku. Emmanuel Okuku is the chief of party of this program, based in Nampula in Mozambique. Okuku is a holder of a master's in international cooperation and has over 15 years in both senior level management and technical expertise in the management of programs, both in Africa and also in Latin America. And so, as I've said already, he's the chief of party of the program, and he'll walk us through some of the highlights and what is happening with the program, as well as really show us in terms of the integration aspect of this project. Thank you, and over to you, Emmanuel.
You're muted, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, Daniel. And also thank you so much for Dr. Linda for laying a foundation upon which I'll be able to build on, because I will not be repeating on some of the few contributions that you've excellently made, specifically the understanding on the duration of the project. As we rightly know that we are on the third phase of implementation, and you would see that from 2013 is when the phase one started with a budget of 15 million. And the phase two, which was called ECT2, Educating Children Together, phase two, was 23,655,000. And phase three is 29,900. So this gives us a total budget of 68,591,000. And of course, part of this was cash, but there was also a food value component, which amounted to 17 million, taking into account all the three phases, with a total tonnage of 16,740 as food. So the beneficiaries that we are serving actually, in terms of the children, there are 85,580. And also we're working with the teachers.
Did we lose Emmanuel?
I think we just lost Emmanuel.
Okay. Yeah, challenges with connectivity.
We've got Emma.
Yeah. Hello, Emma. Are you there?
2,300.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
We lost you a little bit, Emmanuel, but you can go on.
And you're muted. You're muted,
Emmanuel.
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 The project has partners that are very crucial and important in the delivery of the interventions. Of course, we have a donor, which is USDA. We have Save the Children, we have SEX, and then FDC, and IFRE, which is doing the research in the program. And of course, the Ministry of Education, which is the arm of government, and a community which actually interacts on us on a daily basis. Next. So the goal of the project is to improve the literacy of the school-age children. So we have 4 mutually reinforcing objectives within which we are actually building upon in terms of our intervention, enable to achieve the goal of the program. So one of the goals is to improve the quality of literacy instruction. And by this, we train, we want to have a trained and more available instructors and administrators, and also greater access to relevant literacy materials. The project also aims to improve student attentiveness. And by this, we are reducing short-term hunger through provision of daily school meals. We also work with the farmer groups, which contribute 30% of their harvest, because there is a memorandum of understanding that we have already reached out to the farmer groups, because 160 schools that we are actually implementing on are linked to the 90 farmer groups, which in the harvest season are able to provide the nutritious complements to the school meals. On the third objective is to improve student attendance. Here we promote a lot the benefit of education and enrollment by improving the school infrastructure. We raise awareness on the importance of education, but also addressing the barriers that affect school attendance, just like how Dr. Linda highlighted some of them that are related to the early marriage and many factors that she already highlighted in her presentation. Of course, the other piece is around improving the knowledge and practice around nutrition, health, hygiene, food safety, and storage. So the approaches that we use in arriving on this theory of change is we are rolling out the unlock literacy and the literacy boost, the food commodities, the workshop, the citizen reporting and social accountability, and of course, the social behavior change. Next. ECT is a multi-sector and multi-stakeholder project, as the name itself suggests, educating children together. It uses the integrated approach to programming by using the school as a platform for the delivery of literacy, nutrition, and healthy packages. Though the goal of the project is to improve the literacy outcomes in the 2 districts that we are targeting, it's important to note that hunger has a significant impact on school attentiveness and absenteeism. So that's why you understand that if the school is in the center and all the sectors that the project is implementing is addressing the literacy outcomes, but understanding that for us to be able to achieve those outcomes, we need to develop enabling factors, or rather have enabling environment. So all these sectors, we see them as enablers to be able to achieve the goal of the project. That's why you see that, for example, the sector, the food security component, we provide meals. We also do the take-home rations. We have the farmer groups that are supporting the school meals. And also we have the school gardens that is in relation to food security. And for us to have minimum, health-related problems that are linked to health, we are able to provide clean access to clean water and also improving sanitation. So on the issues around advocacy, on community action, we are talking about citizen reporting and social accountability, where we do the community scorecards, community dialogues, and also working with the PTA to be able to address some of the barriers to learning, or rather for access to school. Of course, also for the school or for the children to have a long-term attendance to school, we have also constructed some classrooms, which here we are trying to improve the school infrastructure. And of course, overall is around the health and nutrition component, where we are emphasizing with a very clear, strong social behavior change strategy, which addresses the barriers around hygiene, sanitation, and nutrition. Next. So I would want to just to throw in some of the results that we've been able to the project has recorded this far. We note a 35% increase of children being able to read with the compression from 25. There is also 145% enrollment, which indicates an increase from 64,839 to 92,829. We also, the project's also able to report an increase on attendance from 90 to 96. On the school feeding, we are able to report that attentiveness increased from 90% to 98% as per the midterm evaluation. During the COVID pandemic, the project did adaptive management, where we were able to reach 43,730 children and 19,568 pregnant and lactating women and children under 5 with the take-home rations. On health and nutrition, the project has hit 148% of the target, with the children dewormed and who received the medical examination. And on a school infrastructure, the project has been able to construct 43 boreholes, 12 mechanized, high-yielding mechanized system, 225 classrooms constructed and equipped, 1,705 improved and inclusive latrines constructed. And of course, on the farmer groups, we work with the 90, which continue to support the school with the harvest that they always have at the harvest season, but also we have the 7 groups that also continue to support schools with the basic school needs. One thing that the project has learned, that school meals task force advocacy towards the legislation of school meals is will guarantee more resources for better education and child nutrition outcomes. Also, the project has learned that involvement of stakeholders at all levels creates ownership for the sustainability of the school meals project. And last but not least, an integrated program approach has proven to be the best way to address the literacy outcomes. This directly speaks to the diagram that we had already shown to you, that if we had to look at only education without considering other elements or other sectors, then probably considering the context that the project is currently being implemented on probably would have a very direct impact on some of the outcomes that the project envisions to receive. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for sharing that. And I think what we are seeing is that when a child comes to school, they come in with a lot of things around them. And so for us to really be impactful, we need to also be able to unpack some of those challenges and look at how we can integrate them. And to do so, we need to work together in partners. And so our last and not least by any means presenter today is Emma Cardoso. Emma Cardoso is a program lead for an organization called Center for Civil Society Capacity Building and Learning, based in Mozambique. And it's an organization that facilitates civic engagement and promotes accountability by strengthening the capacity of citizens to actively participate in socioeconomic and political development processes, investing in tools and facilitating civil engagement, sharing learning, and undertaking advocacy for policies and services that respond to citizens' needs, and in particular, the needs of women and children. And so we'll give her a chance to share with us in terms of the work that they are doing and also what they are seeing as an organization and a partner to this program. Over to you, Emma, and thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. So SESC is one of the implementing partners of the final phase, the ECT3 program. And we have been working at several levels. Our approach is not just, as stated by the previous speakers, to work at one level. So at community level, we've been working to raise awareness on the importance of a balanced diet for pregnant and lactating women and for young children, because as we all know, if they have a good diet, then their development is much better. We have been supporting the mobilization of the local actors to value school meals and contribute via provision of local food. So there we're talking not only of the farmers associations, but also other influential people within the community and the private sector. And sensitizing local communities to support the school meals as an approach to promoting student attendance, retention, and attention in the classroom. Then at provincial level and central level, we have, as the colleagues from World Vision stated, we are also participating in the task force where we discuss the elaboration of a school meal strategy as a group. So this is a multi-stakeholder task force with people from government, international agencies, local and international organizations, where we are all providing input, because at the moment, Mozambique does not have legislation, any law or any strategy about school feeding, school meals. There is just the program that Dr. Arlinda presented earlier. So aside from participating in these spaces, we've also been undertaking other advocacy around that with the decision makers. So what have we learned through our time with this program is that the multi-stakeholder and multi-level integrated projects are providing greater reach, involvement and ownership, and thus sustainability, because SESC on our own, World Vision on their own, the Ministry of Education on their own, no one is able to solve this problem of poor learning outcomes, and the school meals are a very good strategy. So we are working with the others in our speciality to contribute to that. And thus we have seen that the ownership is not only coming from the organizations involved, but also from the ministry and from the local communities themselves, as they are becoming to understand that they have a very important role to play in this program. Another thing that we've learned is about the children themselves, that the meals don't only contribute to improving nutrition, health and retention and attention, But it's also a social opportunity for children, because normally children will only eat with their family. They don't really get to sit in large groups of children and have fun and chat and socialize like that. So it's a way for them to sit and talk and interact with each other. And it's a fun time for them every day. So that's also an incentive for them to coming to school. It's the social interaction that they get while they're having their meals. Then another thing we've learned is that for the success of a good school meals program, communities must own and feel part of the program's approaches. If it's an outside to inside program, there is much more resistance and passivity from the community. But when they come and they become part of the program and the various approaches, then there's much more ownership and potential for sustainability. And then the last thing is that we think that the complementarity of the different aspects is also key to success. So we are working with partners. We have partners at all levels, including within the districts at the local level. So we mapped to see which other partners were doing what at the beginning to avoid duplication on the one hand, but also to take advantage of synergies on the others and work with the complementarity. So we have partners for community mobilization, awareness raising and sensitization. And these partners are residents of these districts. They live there, they are of the same culture, they understand the nuances of the terrain, of the leadership styles, of all the different socioeconomic, political aspects. And so they are able to better leverage behavior change and pass messages to the local communities. Another thing that we found was very important was to define the roles and responsibilities, not only between ourselves and World Vision and the other members of the consortium, but also with the other partners, the strategic partners, as well as with the local groups. And then finally, the working with partners, the importance of working together to produce synergies, because the whole idea of these partnerships is that one and one doesn't just make two, but we make three or four. Next slide, please. So what have we found in how the communities are receiving our programs? They're very happy when the school meals program reaches their children, reaches their school, reaches their community, but they have very high expectations. Often they expect that the program will bring a lot more than there is the potential to bring and the resources to bring. And the third thing we have learned is that the communities expect these school meals programs to do everything without any input. They expect to be passive. So what we've been working to do is to deconstruct that idea and to make sure that they are more involved and that there is actually ownership of the program as time goes on. So here, this is a president of one of the school councils. It's like a parent-teacher association in Nakaroa district, who's sharing some of the project results. And one of the key results is that there have been no dropouts of students from schools. On the 1st of June, which is International Children's Day, it's always a big holiday, a big party at schools here. Often many children would drop out after the 1st of June. So they never finished their school year. They only did half of a school year. So that's one of the things that she's celebrating. Parents and guardians are more interested in the performance of their children as they take more interest in what's going on at the school, just through the general awareness raising, but also through the work that the school council themselves have been doing to try and promote parent involvement. Parents are becoming monitors of teachers' attendance. When they're not there, they go and they try and ask why. They ask the school council, why is this teacher or that teacher absent? Parents are participating actively, not just passively, in school meetings to discuss management issues and use of school funds. And finally, that the communities themselves have increased their support to the schools, through that the provision of soap for hand washing before the meals, or firewood, or constructions of walls or other small buildings at the school to try and help improve the facilities for the teaching and learning. Next slide, please. So as SESC's contribution, we have been bringing in several different tools, some of which were mentioned earlier. Olavola is a SMS platform where the community can send messages about issues of their concern to a focal point at the school. And so the Olavola aims to contribute to community participation in school management so that the parents and guardians don't have to actively go to school. They can just send a message, and then that is replied to by the focal point. So the target groups for this tool are the parents and guardians, but also other community leaders, school council members and school directors, and then finally the district education services through their inspection and supervision department. We have also implemented community scorecard, which aims to contribute to community engagement in improving the quality of education services, looking at the standard Ministry of Education and Human Development indicators around quality service provision. And that has been undertaken with focus groups, including boys and girls students, mothers and fathers, service providers, so teachers, and then with community leaders and school council members. And that leads to a joint action plan between the school and the community to try and improve issues that have low performance when the scorecard is taking place. We have also been promoting community dialogues, which aim to contribute to combating barriers to access to education, especially for girls. And these are undertaken with parents and guardians, community leaders, and other influential people. Then finally, we have also been promoting mother and father counselors. So these are influential men and women from the community. The aim is that they will contribute to improving attendance, retention, and combating violence against children by talking with the students themselves about the issues that they are facing and trying to help them find routes around any barriers that they may have and resolve their problems, and also alert them to issues and things that they need to look out for, as well as reinforcing the importance of education for their personal and family and community development. Then finally, we have the public expenditure tracking, where we've been following the funds that are allocated to the school to contribute to the improved management of these resources. And that has been undertaken with the school managers and the community, and the reports obviously shared with the education sector and other sectors for follow-up, and to try and improve the supervision and management of these resources. So our vision, hopefully by the end of the ECT3 program, will be that we will have a country with school meals legislation that benefits rural schools. We hope that in the next year or so, there will be some concrete action on consolidating the legislation in Mozambique. Communities contributing some of their local resources to school meals. We hope that that will continue. We hope that the resources for managing school meals will be decentralized, because as we know, the further away we get, the harder the management is. And finally, that school meals are guaranteed with the purchase of local products. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Emma, for that presentation and some of those insightful lessons learned and some of the expectations for the future. Really appreciate your time and contributions. I noted that we had one question on the chat, and Dr. Alinda was gracious enough to answer it. And I also noticed that we are on top of the hour on our time. And so I just want to close by saying thank you so much for being here and being with us. I think what you have seen from this presentation is the importance of coming together and really pulling everything together in terms of implementation of the school meals program, that we can no longer remain siloed. I liked what the McGovern team said, that it's actually more than just doing school feeding. It is looking at all the factors that would benefit the child. And as we come out of, as we start to resume schools and everything post-COVID, and those kind of things, we all the more, and with the increasing hunger, all the more the reasons why we need to really work together in terms of achieving these objectives. And I myself, as my beneficiary of a school meals program, I can affirm and attest to the benefits of this. It is very transformative in the lives of our children. And so with those few remarks, I want to say thank you again to Dr. Alinda Chakwes for being with us throughout the call, to Emma Cordoso for your presentations, to Emmanuel, the team in Mozambique, and the School Meals Coalition Secretariat for giving us the opportunity to share what we are doing in Mozambique through this program. Thank you, and God bless.